I'm Ben Messenger from Waste Management World magazine. We're here at the RWM show. I'm with Peter Jones from Waste-Atricity. Peter, I hear you have some interesting views on a recent Office of Fair Trading inquiry into water company assets.
Yeah, sure, Ben. Well, basically the point I'm making is that really our industry needs really to start thinking much more globally about the whole sort of opportunity from a carbon perspective. And it's that really got me going on this. And my involvement with Waste-Atricity is because, from my perspective, we need as many of these emergent technologies and facilities, including plasma gasification, to be co-located around this idea of so-called resource parks, big scale, minimisation of transport and so on. And out of the blue really, I happened to be at a Chartered Institute of Water and Environmental Management institutional conference, and there was a chap there talking about the interest of the water companies in bidding for more biogenic waste, food and food-based carbon from pubs, restaurants, business, as well as maybe even domestic food waste chains. And I did some research, and I reckon that there's about 100 to 150 very large sewage works around the UK that have now got a lot of space on them. They got space because human effluent through the dirty pipeline network is being processed through thermal desorption systems, which is really sort of high temperature. They blast the molecules, sterilize it, and it's a bit like an oil refinery, vertical retorts. And they don't need the big space-intensive digesters of old. And so you've got that in the water industry, which is turning over about 10 billion. And over in our corner, of course, you've got an 8 to 9 billion waste management industry that is desperate for space. They're saying we've got chronic problems with the planning system, we've got a lot of local opposition. And I just put two and two together, heard that there was a public consultation going on, and said, well, why don't you auction off these sites so that you get a proper market-tested value for the water companies, the energy companies, waste companies, property companies that could be interested in putting all these new high-tech technologies that we see around us here into a single place where you get economies of scale. And that's in the system now. I think it's hit a few civil servants a bit off-piste because nobody had actually seen the waste industry as part of the energy industry and part of the water industry. And of course, companies like Waste-Atricity are exactly about that. They're about linking scrap carbon that is garbage and connecting that to gas, electricity, transport fuels, hydrogen, and so on. And where do you do it? Sewage works at a logical place. Not everyone, but there's about 100, 150.
It seems to make sense, Peter. What sort of a reaction have you had from it?
Well, as you know, we were just having a discussion earlier with the chairman of the Association of Anaerobic Digesters and ADBA, and Rupert Redesdale is very taken with this idea. He, of course, as a leading Liberal Democrat, has got significant access to ministers in ways that may not be available to the rest of us. So I think he's sort of doing some political sanity checking. Certainly nobody's come back to me, and I'm freelance. I've got no axe to grind. I'm very careful in only allowing my name to go with what I regard as technologically, economically, or ethically sane ideas and companies. And nobody's come back and challenged me and said, look, you're way off-piste on this one. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that this is a terrific opportunity for the UK. Many countries, of course, don't necessarily have these centralised sewage works. I mean, I've just come back from Cyprus, and there, every single house has got a drill down, and that's your drainage system. In the States, you don't see it because a condominium of houses, maybe 20, 30, will have a communal biodigester, which effectively won't often recover energy. It'll just like a giant septic tank. So this is a unique opportunity in the UK, which I think we certainly at least ought to investigate, if not exploit.
Peter, it sounds like an excellent idea. We look forward to following the progress in Waste Management World. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure.